Hello viewers and welcome to another MotoGP video then. I thought it was time to take a holiday to France, so the weather hasn't been particularly nice this weekend, but it is Le Mans. I recorded this video on Friday, was hoping to get it up before the race start on Saturday. Got caught up in the race and it just didn't happen. Nevertheless, here we are enjoying the local sights and sounds on a lovely day. Lovely weather there. Not so much this weekend, it looked freezing and very wet. But it's all about the atmosphere of being there, the whole sort of party, the celebration of motorsports as well. So you see these nice little intros that add a lot of polish to the game. Certainly gives you that whole TV and event feel before we see the racetrack itself. So the Le Mans circuit, and this is the Bugatti circuit, of course, the shorter circuit, not the one they use in the extended 24-hour race. The corner numbers are interesting because they're actually different on here to what I had put down myself, but either way we see there, so that turn 1 and 2, it's a Dunlop curve. For me that's one corner really rather than two, and that's probably one of the trickiest corners uphill into the Dunlop chicane at turn 3 there. So it's a tricky start to the lap. You need to get through there pretty quickly before it then descends downhill and then moving up again through round to the zone 1, which is turns 6 and 7 as I have them. So that's almost like one continuous corner around there before we have a nice braking zone just before you go under the bridge, and you can sweep in there nice and smoothly. Downhill again, braking harder than you expect on this first part, that right-hander. Around the left, keep it nice and tight on the inside before these last couple of corners. Very tricky on the bike as well. It depends on the weather conditions and everything else. You can get a little bit of wheel spin there depending on your handling model. So as the circuit goes, it has a nice flow to it. A couple of start and stop moments, but some nice technical aspects to it. Now I like to edit these videos all in different ways. Some ways are more successful than others. I've gone for this twin split screen setup here really because I just wanted to show you guys a bit of the replays that they've got. You know, I think the replays are really good given the amount of bikes on screen in a race. This is the Xbox version, which I finally got my hands on now. A lot of people have been talking about the Xbox version because they've been playing the demo. I've not had the time to download the demo and play it. I've literally been wall-to-wall E3 videos for the past week, and I'm literally just catching up with everything now. It's just been a case of knocking out videos day and night, and we have quite a few in production as I speak. So getting around these first couple of corners, it kind of gives you an idea of both views. The Xbox version, the frame rate people have mentioned to me, and there is the frame rate on the Xbox version is not as good as the PlayStation version, which is surprising. I've been playing the PlayStation 3 version today, and usually the PS3 version has a more choppy frame rate, but however Milestone have set it up, their PS3 games are definitely running a little bit smoother than their Xbox ones. The Xbox version looks better, it looks bigger and more solid for some reason. I can't put my finger on it, but not all tracks have the frame rate problems, and also I found after I'd installed it to the hard drive it was a little bit smoother as well, so certainly it didn't affect me. It can affect you in about the first 4, 5, 6 corners, and then after that the field tends to spread out quite a bit. There's a lot of bikes jostling for position as I'm trying to find my way through there. It's very easy to get taken out, it has to be said. Certainly I find that more so on this Xbox version than I did on the PS3 one, bizarrely. So I have to be quite tentative in getting around here. I don't want to touch too many of these guys. This is also my first time playing the home retail version. I know people have asked about the career. Every time I get a new version of the game, this is the 4th version I'm starting now, I always have to start a new career, so I haven't actually started a career on this version yet, but I will be in a few upcoming videos, so you can look forward to those coming on the channel in the coming days. So I'm trying to work my way through this field. I can't remember what the difficulty is now on this one. This might be a hard difficulty. Oh, barging my way through here. I've only got a few laps, so I don't really want to fall too far behind. This is a 5-lap race, I've set this on. Braking too late there, I've just not got that corner right. If I brake early, I find I just don't seem to carry enough speed into it. I find that the slingshot technique is working more for me at this moment on that section, so I just kind of stuck with it. The AI just seems faster through that corner than me at the moment. All about technique. Been a lot of debate on the videos as to handling. Some of you like it, some of you don't. It's really tricky getting a bike game. I just don't think that a bike game is ever going to suit everybody. There's 2 ways you can approach this. A lot of people talk about Tourist Trophy, which is a little bit more arcade-like. It's funny, but a lot of people consider that to be a simulation because they say it feels better. but it's actually got less simulation in it than what you're actually seeing here. So it's always a difficult balance, I think, getting a feel for the bike and how controllable it should be and how nimble the bike should be. When it comes to not just expert players who know where to brake and know where to turn in and can do a good job with it, but also those new to bike games who don't know the courses, don't know the bikes, and are trying their best to enjoy it at the same time. So I go a little bit wide there, but making my apex. Always important to get that. The bike comes light, you can just lift a little bit there just to keep some more stability, but then you've got to throw straight into this corner. Love that feeling there, really nice. You're one way, then throwing the bike the other way. Getting a bit of wheel spin on the curbs. So it was another racing spectacle this weekend. I've watched the whole race from beginning to end. Obviously the excitement of seeing it and all the action there, it's always great to see. Obviously the terribly sad news, and I'll make a separate video on this at some point, news video this week, about Alan Simonson. You know, I was watching it live, saw the crash, and none of us thought the crash was that serious initially, and of course then the news came out, which was shocking at the time to everybody, and always introduces to everybody how dangerous motorsport is, and I'll be talking about it, as I say, on a separate video. So riding through here on the inside line, I've got a nice grip on that corner. The bike comes out of it quite well if you get in early. I mean, a lot of these corners are really nice to open up on you nicely if you get in early, but if you don't get in early, then the bike goes wide and you're having to come out the power even more to turn in. I've not got turn one right just yet. I'm learning every time how best to do that. I'd need to do lots and lots and lots of laps, honestly, to find out how best to handle some of these corners. But I do like the replays. I think the replays look pretty cool at this stage. And it shows that the graphics have moved on quite a bit from Milestone on these games. Their bike games weren't as good looking as this a few years ago. I should do a graphics comparison for you guys to show how it's moved on. But again there, you know, I was trying to keep that guy behind me. He's a Cal Crutchlow, but it's difficult on that particular corner. Oh, and I've oversteered there, and then I had to oversteered and then understeered, and it's all over the place. A little bit sloppy if you turn in too early. That's a very difficult thing about getting precision. Again now, I think I'm trying to get my speed right through there. I found it was much easier when I was following the other bikes because I had a nice guiding line there, and now that that line has gone, I'm struggling with certain speeds through the corner. I was more following them and focused on them than I was focusing on my own line and braking points. So suddenly you're on your own and you're just trying to focus on where those braking points are, and again trying different techniques as well. I find just riding the brake a little bit through here just keeps the bike a bit more steady, a bit more stable as I go a bit wide. Nicely into the chicane. Not as quick as I could do on the exit there, a bit slow on the power, but over that little hump and throwing the bike in, always that nice feeling on that corner. Long corner, past the Ducati, moving my way up through the ranks. Bike getting a bit leery there, and again you can see Ducati's just quicker than me there, so I've actually moved away intentionally on that time, and I just can't seem to keep enough speed through that section to beat the AI. It's a tricky corner. So having a dice, is that Dovi there? I think it is. Dovi's holding me back. He certainly had a tough season. Obviously Valentino Rossi was at Ducati, couldn't turn it around. Dovi's gone there hoping to do what Valentino couldn't, and so far it's not worked out for him. The bike clearly has some issues. He and Nicky Hayden, they've shown some good, performance in qualifying, but in the race the bike just doesn't seem to be working as well for them. And we would really like to see Ducati back in there and winning races and getting in the mix amongst Yamaha and Honda. Honda have been so strong, but Jorge Lorenzo his dominance in the recent races, you know, really is. He's such a strong rider, isn't he? When he's got that bike on form, I mean, the guy is just unstoppable. And I think Mugello was just a perfect example of that. So strong in that race he was. And of course, again in Catalonia recently, Marc Marquez unable to get past Dani Pedrosa. Very competitive between those guys. It's always a problem when it's your teammate, because you don't want to take your teammate out. You've got to make sure that if you're going to make a pass, it's got to be clean. And if you're behind, then it's your responsibility to make that clean. It's very tricky when someone's on the same machinery as you and they're braking at the point they need to brake, which is the same point that you need to brake. So to find more speed is very difficult indeed. Having this problem with Dovi is being difficult to shake off at this stage. So this is on the hard difficulty setting. I'd need more practice obviously, but I did start I think from the back of the grid, so not too bad at this stage. We come round I think for the final lap in a moment. No 24-hour races for me. I'll do those in cars, thank you, but it's nice to enjoy it on the biking as well. Rossi's somewhere ahead of me, some 3 seconds down the road. Not going to close that gap on the time we have. And trying too hard now to... so I thought Dovi was behind me still, but I've managed to make a gap, I see on the replay there. So I'd really like to know your thoughts on it. I mean, if you do have feedback for the developers on bike handling and what you'd like to see, do try to be as detailed as possible on that response. Tell them exactly what you'd like to see the bike doing, exactly how, if there's any turning issues or braking issues or whatever that you see, because that all helps with the development. Just saying, oh, I don't like the bike because it, you know, does this or that, it doesn't help the developers. They really need some specifics, and we'd all like to see great driving games and bike games and everything else. And I think YouTube's a great opportunity for fans of the game to voice their opinion, and developers will see that as well. And on the VV videos, quite often we have a number of developers who watch the videos and enjoy them and take note of the comments that are made, so it's always helpful to have that as we come through these last few corners. We might have one more lap after this, looking at the time. Not quite got that area right yet, but always learning. We are on our final lap now. No, that's it for this race, viewers. So there'll be more from me very soon, but obviously do check out the other videos we have for MotoGP on the channel. Lots to look at there, and we've had lots of stuff from E3 as well, and you'll see more coming up in the coming days. If you have any requests for videos on MotoGP in particular, do let me know. I've got it here now so I can play it, and there'll be more from me very soon.